Live. What's up, y'all? Live in the building. Real Canna. We in the building, baby. Let's go. We off for another webinar trip, man. Recap number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the welcome to the webinar, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. Yes. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the webinar, man. This is Real Cannabis in the building. Real Cannabis Entrepreneur in the building. Everybody funneling in. I see Valerie here. Valerie, represent. Everybody hit up the chat as we normally do, y'all. Come on, represent, man. Let me know y'all out there. I need to know who's all in the building, so make sure you guys throw it up in the chat, man. Valerie, big up to you. Always on time. Up here early. THCFO in the building. From Redding, California in the building. That's right. And we got Real Canna, man, and this is we've been doing it big for a long time, y'all. Long time, man, with this thing. And thank y'all so much for joining us today, man. This is recap number 4. Can y'all believe it, man? We got so much good content, so much great stuff that we had to continue this whole series to give you more and more great content. I'd asked everybody if they wanted me to continue. They said, yes, man, let's get it going. So we're going to keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. I got a special guest in the background here. Steve Bloom is in the background right now. Steve Bloom in the background. Yes, sir, baby. You guys saw him on stage, pillar of the cannabis industry, and he's going to get on this, and we're going to talk to him and do some good stuff like that and all that good stuff, man. What's up, Noah? What's up, Noah Tony? What's up? Noah's in the building, man. Make sure y'all throw it up. Throw it up, everybody, man. Let me know if you're in the building, man. Let me know, everybody in the building. Make sure you put your name in the thing when you first come in, because otherwise I can't see you guys. I see you and call you by name, man. So we're gonna get it popping, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it popping, man. Another day of the recap number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4 today, man, and we're gonna be talking about a bunch of stuff. But before we get into that, y'all know what I always do, man. I'm gonna do some quick announcements, man, to give you some goodies, some other stuff, so everybody can know all the goodness, and then we're gonna jump right into the great content today, ladies and gentlemen. Non-stop action, Real Canna game, man. I hope y'all enjoying it. Everybody hit that chat up. Let me know you're live and in effect. If you guys are on LinkedIn, I can't see your chat, unfortunately. But if you're on any of the other platforms that we're streaming to, we're going to Twitch, we're going to Facebook, we're going to YouTube. We can see all of your comments there. But if you're at LinkedIn, guys, we can't see it. So come on over to the webinar side. If you're on LinkedIn, I know if you want to chill over there, it's all good. But if you want to come to the webinar side, just go to Real Canna Webinars. Real Canna Webinars. I'm going to put it right here. And then you'll get the link to come in. You'll get the link to come in here if you want to chat it up, promote your business, and all that good stuff. What's up, Mendy? Good morning. Green Culture Ed in the building. From Denver. Denver's in the building. What's up? Denver's in the building. That's right. All my peoples from all over the place. We got Cali in the place. We got Denver in the place. We got Jersey in the place. We got New York in the place. We got NYC. Chris is in the building. NYC in the building. Let's go. Right across the river. Let's go, Chris. All right, y'all. I told y'all I got to get too hyped today, man. We've been doing a lot of these, and thank y'all. Y'all still pouring in, man. Big up to y'all, man. Everybody's going to come in. Y'all been coming on time lately, too, man. Today's everybody's lagging a little bit, but that's all good, man. I'm going to get into my first announcement here, ladies and gentlemen. First announcement of the day. You guys heard me talk about it quite a lot. The private Cannabis Mastermind Group, the Real Cannabis Private Mastermind Group. We started it at the beginning of this about 5 years ago when there was nothing going on. And it's a group, man, where all of us cannabis professionals get together. We started with about 5 or 6 people just from Jersey. Now our group is big as 172 cannabis professionals from all over the planet, ladies and gentlemen. And not just the U.S., all over the planet. We got members in the UK. We got members in Mexico. We got members in Amsterdam. We got South Africa in our group. We got Belgium or somewhere else over there, Spain. One of other members from there. So we talk about international stuff as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested in joining our private mastermind group, guys, you have to be qualified. It's not for everybody. You got to be doing your thing and be serious about what it is you do. But if you are, and you're ready to take your business to the next level, hit that link right now. Go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind, baby. Mastermind. realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. All right, hit that up right now, man. If you guys are interested in joining the private mastermind group, you got to put in an application, guys. But if you want to get in, like I said, over 172 professionals to help each other's business grow, sharpen our skills together. You want to join that group, realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. All right, next one. Next up. Let me see who's in the chat. Who else joined us from the chat? Joe Shabbat. What's up, Joe? Jersey in the house, baby. Joe's back. Joe, I remember you from last week, baby. He's back. All right. All right, now we getting live. We getting live now. Hold on, one more. I got two more announcements, then we're going to jump right into it. Now, you guys saw me talk marketing on stage, right? I own a 27-year-old digital marketing agency. Been doing this for a long time, since the beginning of the internet, and that's the way you see me fill all of these conferences with thousands of people every single year, single-handedly, without having the power of Facebook or Google Ads or anything else like that, guys. If you want to know the crazy tricks that I use as a marketer to get around all of these crazy things and fill these events with thousands of people and do all of the wild stuff that I do to help you grow your business to get big, guys, get in my Cannabis Marketing Boot Camp. Cannabis Marketing Boot Camp is the only place that I can share some of the crazy secrets that I do in marketing, specifically for cannabis, to get around a lot of the loopholes and other things that we got holding us down, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to learn more and you want to take your business to the next level, go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com/bootcamp, baby. Go to /boot camp. You know what I mean? Go to boot camp, man. Real Cannabis Entrepreneur /boot camp, guys. If you want to learn all the crazy marketing tricks, I've been doing this 27 years, filling up events for big motivational speakers, authors, coaches all across the country. I've worked with all the Fortune 500 companies. I train the VPs and other things. I speak from the stages at regular marketing conferences, guys. If you want to know the crazy stuff that I can't say out loud because I know Google's watching me and other people are watching me, you got to get in my private group, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where I'm going to get it to you. realcannabisentrepreneur.com/bootcamp. What's up? Yes. All right. Let's go. All right. Joe Shabbat says he's got something popping over there. Joe, I'm going to get to that. You say you got some backpacks popping or something like that. All right. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. Last one. Then we're going to bring up Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom, ladies and gentlemen, a pillar in the cannabis industry. We're going to bring him up to the stage, man. And this one might be an extended version, because you know what I mean? All right. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. Crowdfunding, guys. If you need cash, if you guys haven't heard, we got the partnership with Mainvest. We're one of the only ones that can allow the cannabis people to go on the platform. We've been a marketing agency, guys. When you see these big campaigns happening, crowdfunding, and people raise millions of dollars, it's not because they just put it up there and a whole bunch of people came. It's the fact that they had a marketing agency. They went and hired a marketing agency just like us, just like me, to go and spend $150,000, $200,000 to make $1 million, to raise $1 million, 1.5. That's the same thing we do here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to do it right for cannabis and you want to raise over $100,000, holla at me, because I got the blueprint to get you popping on Mainvest, the only platform that allows cannabis-based companies. And we are the ones who's got the partnership. Real Cannabis Entrepreneur, we're the ones who has that partnership with them, guys. Go to realcannacrowdfunding.com, realcannacrowdfunding.com right now. If you're interested in crowdfunding your business, doesn't matter if you're cannabis, CBD, Delta 8, whatever, anything along the lines. You don't have to be flower touching, non-flower touching. If you got a great business, if you got a great story, if you got something that we can be popped off, ladies and gentlemen, hit that link up, because I may be able to raise you guys $100,000, man. $100,000, baby. realcannacrowdfunding.com, realcannacrowdfunding.com, realcannacrowdfunding.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get going, man. We're going to get going now. I've done quite a bit of of announcements today. So we're going to bring up my man. Oh, Teresa Panacea is in the building. Hold up. You guys, oh, wow, man, you guys are getting thick up in here. We got 22 people in the building. Thank you so much. Canna Camp Supply, what's up, baby? You in the building. What's up? Canna Camp Supply is in the building. Teresa Panacea, Teresa from Panacea Payroll's in the building, baby. If you need payroll, you need HR, you better go to Panacea Payroll right now. I'm telling you guys, if you're in cannabis, don't mess around with nobody else. Go to Panacea Payroll. Panacea Payroll. All right. Mindy in the building. All right, Canna Camp. Throw it up, y'all. Everybody else, if this is your first time here, Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Webinars, do not be scared to throw it up, baby. I'm a marketer by trade. That means I like everybody to market. I like you to get busy. Get out there and throw your websites up, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not like these other conferences and things that don't want you to market and they just want to wrangle their stuff. No, guys, it's all about us. So, guys, throw it up in the chat, man. Do not be scared. Promote yourself. Tell us what you need. If you need partners, if you need money, if you need finance, if you need payroll, whatever you need, put it up in the chat right now. Put it up in the chat right now. We're going to help you find it at Real Canna. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to bring him up. He's a busy man. He agreed to come in here today, y'all. Y'all saw him on stage. He came and represented. You see him everywhere. He's been an quadruple OG, ladies and gentlemen. Been in cannabis before many of us been walking on this damn planet. He's been in the cannabis. He's one of the original fabrics of the entire thing. Back to the High Times days, back to the way back days, back to the Woodstock days. I know Steve's got a whole lot of stories. He could tell us a lot that we could learn from him, man. But he's a triple, quadruple quadruple OG, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we do at Real Cannabis Entrepreneur, right? We in the virtual world. We can't clap here. So I need y'all to clap on the keyboards right now. Give me them S's right now. S for Steve. We need S's right now for Steve. S's for Steve. Steve Bloom is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Throw them up, throw them up, throw them up. Let's get him hyped so we can get him on stage. This is his first time on the virtual Real Canna platform. You saw him on stage at the regular Canna platform. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to bring him in warm. Y'all know how we do at Real Canna. That's right. Throw the S's up. Throw the S's up. Let's go. Let's get him hyped. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get him up. Steve, boom, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
All right.
Yes.
Good to be here.
What's up, Steve? How are you?
I'm good.
Doing great. How are you, my brother?
Excellent. Great to be here.
Man, so glad to have you here. Yeah, so glad to have you on the platform, man. It's been a long time coming, man. You always been a supporter of Real Canna, always come through and represent. You've been a supporter of cannabis, period. I see you everywhere. Steve is everywhere, y'all. Every event, that's something that's an event, he's there to represent and support, man. He's a pillar. So I got to big you up first and foremost, man. Say thank you.
I will tell you that I picked my spots, and yours is one of my spots. I don't go to every event. I picked my spots.
Hey, I love it. I love the fact that Real Canna is on that spot list, baby. That is an honor. That's right.
Get me out to Newark once a year.
That's right. Get him to Jersey. We bring you to Jersey, Steve. But right. Yes, man, before we get started, I want everybody who doesn't know all of your long lineage and all the goodness about who Steve Bloom is, celeb stoner, baby, and all the rest of your fine lineage, man. I want you to break it down to them like they're babies. They don't know anything. I want you to tell them everything about who Steve Bloom is, man, and what you do and all that goodness.
All right, a quick bio. I got my start in the cannabis world with High Times magazine in 1988. I was hired there as an editor. I worked there for 20 years. After I left High Times in 2007, I started celebstoner.com, my website, which I still have, one of the longest running cannabis websites out there.
Super dope, y'all. Make sure y'all go celebstoner.com. Go celebstoner, y'all. Super dope, man. Info. Does it big. Sign up now, y'all.
I've edited other weed magazines. Freedom Leaf was a magazine I was editor of in the from 2014 to 2018. But my main focus these days is Celeb Stoner and getting people there and getting people to my Patreon so they can join to my group. But, just covering the news. I mean, today's a big day. Cannabis is being voted on in Ohio. Will Ohio legalize it and become the 24th legal state? Big deal.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, man. With always nonstop action. Ohio's been fighting for a long, long time. I've been watching them snail along. Hopefully they get it popping this time, man. A lot of my people waiting to get it popping in Ohio, so I hope they get it through.
Right.
Yeah, Steve, now you write so much, man, and you write so much great news, and I want you to talk a little bit about some of the things that you cover, man, because you cover a lot of really dope lifestyle stories. You keep me up on some of the obscure things that you would never hear about, guys. I'm telling you, I better go on there right now, celebstoner.com, celebstoner, and sign up, man, because it's going to keep you updated on something. How do you find all of this, Steve? How do you get all this information, this great stuff that you always get first?
I try not to be too obscure. I mean, I try to kind of cover news that, people are thinking about. But, I just comb through the headlines, every day, look for what's happening out there. People send me tips. Right now, I'm working on a story out of Israel. Somebody sent me an article about what they're doing in Israel to help the Israelis deal with what's happening on their side. They're using cannabis to cope with what's happening over there. So that was just a tip. Somebody sent me an email from Israel, came out of the blue. So, things like that happen. I've been around long enough that people know to reach out to me when they want, some publicity for something. But the main focus of Celeb Stoner is a cultural approach to cannabis so that, we follow the politics, and what's happening in Ohio is really important today. And we cover that. We just also cover more of the fun side of the movement of the industry, the TV, the music, the sports, the celebrities, just a little more fun view of everything. Willie Nelson just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We cover that. Bill Maher is on every Friday night. We watch what he has to say about cannabis. There's just so many references popping up in TV shows, in movies, in songs. I just kind of, look for everything, spend a lot of time watching a lot of TV, to look for these different scenes. I think they mean something. Every time there's a cannabis scene or even a drug scene in a movie or a TV show, it's there for a specific reason, and I like to analyze that.
Yeah, man. And that's the mind of an editor, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the mind of an editor and how he, goes through this thing. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that, Steve, because you got a long lineage. I didn't even know it was 20 years you said you were with High Times?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even know it was that long. That's a long time, man. So I want to talk a little bit about that side, because I got a lot of journalists, a lot of writers, and I know you guys are in the audience. I know you guys and this is the OG of journalism and being an editor and doing and everything else. So I want you to talk a little bit about those people who are aspiring to do what you have already accomplished, to be those editors, to go out and be those journalists, to cover cannabis news, to make a living off of what they love by covering it, man. I want you to give them some tips. What should they be doing?
Well, there's so many more outlets than there were when I was at High Times. What was unique about High Times back then is that we really were the only magazine out there, the only place where you could really get cannabis news. There wasn't the internet when I started there in the late 80s. So it was all newspaper and magazine information. That's how you got your information. People got so much information from High Times. Then gradually some other magazines started to compete with High Times, a couple of Canadian magazines. So we had a little bit of competition. And then the internet opened up, in the 2000s. And then all of a sudden websites started to spring up everywhere. Like now, there's hundreds of cannabis news themed websites. So there is work there for people. With all of those websites out there, some of them may not pay much, some of them may not pay at all, others do, so you can make $100 an article or whatever, and you just knock out a lot of stuff. I think when you're young, the best thing to do is just write a lot, get your name out there in as many places as possible, and don't worry so much about how much you're making, build your reputation, and then the money will come. So work for cheap. When I first started as a music journalist in the late 70s, that's where I really got my start.
I knew you were a music guy, Steve. I knew it. I knew you were.
I wrote articles for $5 and $10 a piece. I mean, that's what the going rate then was for starting, writers in their 20s, writing for music journals and stuff. So, I took the low pay and worked my way up the chain to the point where I ended up writing for Rolling Stone and Downbeat and places like that, which, so that was a peak for me. But even so, in the music journalism world, the payoff wasn't that great. You got a lot of albums, you went to a lot of concerts, you went to a bunch of parties, you interviewed really cool people, but you didn't get paid that well. So you have to kind of look for other opportunities. That's kind of what led me to High Times. I moved around from music journalism to sports writing to video games. I wrote a book about video games in the early 80s.
Nice, man.
So you move around and you look for opportunities, and then the opportunity led me to High Times. It was one thing led to another. A friend of mine who actually I met at the video game magazine, which I was editor of, called Video Games, he ended up at High Times and gave me a job at High Times years later.
Wow. See, 360, y'all. That's how it works in this industry, man. You got to go out and do good.
Follow your friends, follow your editor friends. I'm currently writing now as a freelancer for LA Magazine. My friend Shirley Halpern, who's the editor-in-chief, she used to work at High Times.
That's how it goes. Yeah, once you get a good circle and everybody knows you and loves you and they're your buddies, right? They go off to do great things. You go off to do great things, then you reconverge, and you got a whole lot of other outlets and resources that can plug you in. It's the greatest way.
Just don't burn bridges,
Absolutely.
And keep your friends and don't burn bridges, especially at a young age.
Exactly, man. You got to get your chops up. And you guys heard Steve what he talked about, right? Going out there doing it $5-10 an article early on, right? Doing your chops. You guys heard my story, me saying the same thing, me being an intern in the music industry, doing the same thing, working for nothing at D&D Studios, and then eventually becoming an audio engineer. And again, just fell into it, never intended to be an engineer, just wanted to be in the music side. But I wind up being an engineer, and I wind up having a ridiculously long discography to this day, including Jay-Z, 5 songs off Unreasonable Doubt, Big, 10 Crack Commandments, Kicking the Door, Mary J. Blige, Funkmaster Flex. My thing is like 100 artists long, man, really. But but that's how it all happened.
You would really dig my music journalism background, because I got in the door as an R&B, soul, funk, jazz writer.
Did you really?
I was not covering rock. Now,
wow.
I grew up on all that stuff, but in the mid 70s, I got into all the soul and R&B stuff. It was the golden era of 72 to 75, 76. I dove in. And then I got the assignments to interview people like James Brown.
Nice.
I interviewed James Brown probably 10 times.
Nice, man.
He does me.
You were in
He
the
does me. And
heyday.
he liked me because I wrote about him when he was at his low point in the late 70s. He liked what I wrote about him, and then the door was always open for me till he passed away.
Wow, man. That's about making great relationships and being
It's
and
true.
being around,
It's true
know.
story. People don't know some of these things about me. They don't know I wrote a video game book. And when I tell people, like, what? It's like a black hole in my history. People don't know.
Yeah, exactly. A video. And what was that about, Steve? I'm interested. A video game book. What was it? What was the angle on
Okay,
that?
let's see if I have it here.
Look at him going into the archives, y'all. He's got the archives back there, and you best believe there's some very worthy things in his background, man. It's worth some dough. I know Steve's got it. Video Invaders. Yeah. Oh,
this is 1980. This is 1982. So I was writing for a newspaper in New York, a weekly called the Soho Weekly News, and I just I was writing music articles, but I also happened to like arcades, and I was walking around Times Square, and I used to love to go to the arcades. And I noticed in around 1979 that there was a big movement towards video games. Obviously it had started already with Pong and things like that, but all of a sudden Space Invaders had a line, with people waiting to play. So there was a phenomenon building there that I kind of sniffed out. And I wrote a story about that as a cover story in the Soho Weekly News. And I got a call from an agent saying, do you want to write a book about video games? He wanted like a simple book, like How to Beat Space Invaders. And I'd really rather write it like more of a history. So this is a history. This is pretty much the first history of video games, with a lot of like where it came from in Japan, and then the California tech industries, Atari and stuff like that. I was kind of fascinated with the business of video games.
Oh, nice, man. Long
I'm
lineage.
an OG in the video game world, but nobody knows.
Get out of here. Wow.
No
in the
kidding.
video
Nobody
game world.
knows anything about my video game background.
Yeah, see, all of us, man. I tell everybody in cannabis, we all got these other alternative backgrounds that we never ever talk about. We just get around each other and we talk cannabis, and we forget about all the other crazy stuff that we've been into. And you learn about your friends, and you say, "I didn't know you were doing that."
I'm here to blow your mind today. My second book.
Watch out for the little guys. All
right.
Tiny Archibald.
Tiny Archibald was the introduction in the book, and I found him up in the Bronx and got the introduction. Tiny went to my high school, Dewitt Clinton.
Get out of here.
This was an assignment. Spud Webb was in the news, back in the late 80s, right? And he had won the slam dunk contest. And so they decided to do a book about the little guys who were succeeding in basketball at that time. And I got the assignment to write this book. So they said,
Stockton, who else was that on the right? That's Stockton,
exactly, Isaiah.
Spud Webb, and who else? And Isaiah, yeah.
Right. So they basically wanted Spud, and they said, you can add a few. So I gave them a list of the guys who what I determined was below 6'1" in the league that would qualify. And they selected Stockton and Isaiah. So I did that. It's really great timing. Stockton and Isaiah became Hall of Famers.
For real, right on time. They balled out that year. They went crazy with it, right?
Well, my brother's a sports writer, so that kind of steered me a little bit in that direction, to kind of do that. So I kind of followed his leads a little bit. As a matter of fact, going back to high school, my brother preceded me, 2 years older. He was on the newspaper, the high school newspaper called the Clinton News, Dewitt Clinton in the Bronx. And he was a sports editor when I came in as a sophomore, and he encouraged me to follow his lead, which was to cover sports at the school and get onto the newspaper. There was a journalism program in high school, which I was in, which was a great program. And that's really where I got my start.
Oh, nice, man. Now, Steve, I'm going to ask a couple other questions for the audience, man. All of my journalists, all of my people that are doing it, and you, the OG, man. With you're in the journalist, you're going out there and you're starting. And like you said, you just write, and you write as much as you can. But how do you pick and choose who you want? How do you approach those individuals to get it out there? Is there any methodology in terms of getting
you can be as basic as possible. You could go through contacts on a website and just look for, info contacts and just start from scratch. And if you don't have the contact, but usually, if you're wandering around trade shows and conferences and, being a little bit, like you're going to meet somebody and schmoozing, you should be able to make a few contacts in that way. You look at all the sites out there, say, I want to write for this one or that one, or, a knock on the door. I think that'd be a good thing to do. But if you're starting completely from scratch, you really do need a couple of, you need something to kind of get your way in the door. It helps to have what they call clips. Back in the day, clips were, an actual, hard copy of your story from the newspaper or the magazine. Now, of course, it would be a link. So you link to the stories that you have written, so the editor can see what you're doing, what kind of writing you're doing, and kind of what level of quality you're providing in your writing and your ability. So that's really the way to do it. So I mean, it's a little chicken egg, and you're not going to get that until you get the assignments. But one way or the other, if you have a little moxie, you'll get a couple assignments, get in the door, and then start building from there. But you can do it as basic as go through info, links on websites and send a note saying I'd like to write. They may respond, they may not, but probably better to hit trade shows and walk up to the booth that might be a magazine there and like, okay, say Edibles magazine is a booth there, whatever, and walk up to them and say, hey, I'd like to write for you and blah blah, and then then start the discussion, basically. And then the next step is, like, for me as an editor, I would generally say, pitch me on some ideas, just send me a couple of ideas that you'd like to write, and then maybe I'll buy it. I'm a little hard sell at Celeb Stoner. I really want very specific stuff. I'm going to pay for somebody to write for Celeb Stoner. It better generate some traffic.
Yeah, man, definitely. So that's you guys. That was a lot of great tips right there. A lot of great tips that Steve just rattled off. All my journalists, all my people. And again, this is coming from the former High Times editor who knows all the ins and the outs, right? And he said it'll come to me, pitch me on something. And that was a good point, Steve, that you blew over. But my ears perked up, and you said, "Hey, pitch me on something." The editors want you to pitch them on something, have some type of idea, come up and see what you can come up with. Is that the best way to approach it versus just saying, "Hey, here's all my clips, here's everything. What do you got? Something for me?" Is it better to go in with something already planned, or is it better?
Do both. Both. Basically, you need to kind of, it's like a proposal. You're sending, say, an email, to me with an idea that you like to write a given story, or you like to write for Celeb Stoner, and you have a couple of ideas. You kind of, presumably, if you want to write for Celeb Stoner, you've read the website a little bit, got an idea of what the website's about, and then you can pitch me properly. If you're not really reading it directly and you just kind of want to get your name around, you really have to study the site or the newspaper, the magazine you want to write for, and see what they're covering and what they've already covered and how you fit in. So Stone is very clear. Bring me, a celebrity angle on a story. Bring me something that I don't have. Bring me something probably from outside of New York that I don't have access to. Bring me something from Colorado or LA, where so I have some coverage out there because I got New York pretty well locked up. So that's the things, just figure out what the website could use, and then you could kind of like fit into what they need. You're not going to really tell them what to do. They're going to have their own focus, and you can't say, hey, you should cover this. They're going to cover if they want to, and you just have to let them know you're available for such assignment. And then you put yourself out there so you're on the list of people that when there's a need, maybe I'll say no, not right now, but then something else pops up out of LA. If somebody's been pitching me out of LA, I haven't accepted an article yet, but maybe the next one I will. So don't be persistent. Don't just give up after, I said no to one. It's not because I don't like you. It's because, that's not a good fit, or I already covered that to some degree, or I'm just looking for something else, or I don't think it's going to really, get much interest, so, just try again.
Yeah, you see that, guys? Try again. Don't be discouraged, man. If you get shot down the first time, you got to keep going. And I always say that in cannabis, we all have to have that perspective all the way 1,000%, because we got so many things in it that we do not control. So if there's something that goes left, you got to just dust yourself right off, understand it didn't have anything to do with you personally. That is just the name of the game, and we got to keep it pushing, man. So Steve, that was a lot of great info that you shared there, man. I want to ask you one more thing. Being an editor, now you went up from the ranks, right? And you were writing. Now you made it to an editor. What does it take to become an editor of a magazine for all of those out there that are aspiring to be in your shoes, man? What does it take?
It probably takes some schooling. I didn't go to journalism school like others, which is a college program, which is a grad program. So I was done with college. I didn't want to do any more college once I was done with college, but I had learned early. Like I said, I got a lucky break. I got into a journalism program in high school, which is not common. I doubt that program still exists in the high school that I went to, but it's something that they offered back then, and it was something I had to make. As a matter of fact, I was talking about this on my Facebook site yesterday, because it was National Saxophone Day, and I made a thing about how I play saxophone, but I kind of learned it on my own. But when I was in high school, I was playing trumpet, and I got the opportunity to be in the newspaper, and I had to give up something, and I gave up the trumpet because I just couldn't do both. And so I dove into that class, and then I started covering sports like crazy, and it became like the extracurricular activity, like I was on a team while I was on the newspaper. So I got real busy with that, and that kind of led me, to my life of what I've done. But learning editing at a young age from a really good, journalism teacher was just great. I mean, she was what we really learned was how to write, and then the writing led to editing. If you can write, then you can edit. Not to say every writer is a good editor, but if you can write, you can edit. But every writer is not a great editor, but you can because you have the skills. You know the words, you know how to put it together, but you also have to look at other people's work and be critical of it and then fix it.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to do that, but also be careful with the writer because the writer, likes what he or she wrote, and you also don't want to hurt their feelings too much, but you also want to make it better. I look at writing and editing as a collaboration that you work together. The writer submits the article, the editor, tries to improve it to some degree to make it a little bit better. And generally the writer should accept that because the editor kind of knows what he or she is doing and knows what the publication wants. And you're just going to have a better overall piece if you let the editor do his or her work as opposed to fighting them on every change. So when I was younger, I really learned from the editors that I was working with. Matter of fact, at Soho News, where I worked, the editor there, I would take every article, and that was all written, handwritten, typed, and then edited, handwritten editing. I would take the edit home and I would go over it to compare it to the original article I wrote to see what the changes were, to understand the changes that were made were the changes I need to learn from.
Wow.
You got to learn on the process. Take it where you can get it. I got it from a teacher in high school. I didn't have a faculty advisor in college that was helpful. And then I learned the rest on my own, and then I learned it from other editors who I worked with who taught me how to be a better writer.
That is what's up now. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve just broke it all down for y'all. All of my people out there that are aspiring. He gave you the blueprint. That was the blueprint right there. He let you in on the secrets of what it takes to be an editor, a writer, a journalist, and get your thing on. And that was really dope, Steve. That was really dope. I got one more question for you before I let you go, man. I know you're a busy man and you've always supported your company.
Keep hitting me. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm no rush today.
Now, my other question for you is for the writers, and that was really good. If you're a writer, you're an editor. And I want to repeat that. He said, if you're a writer, you're an editor. You can't just be an editor. You got to learn how to edit, but you have the skill set to be an editor. So that should be in everybody's repertoire to understand the process of where you might be going, the trajectory of where you might want to head with this thing. Now, for the writers, the fledgling writers that are getting out there, Steve, and they want to impress you with their writing styles. They want to make better articles. What was your suggestion? What did you do as a writer? You were on the come up, and what did you do to say, I got to get better. I got to write better. I got to do something dope. What made you do it?
Again, learning from the editors was really kind of key to make fewer mistakes. I mean, some of it is just where the words go on the page. I mean, sometimes a word is better at the front of a sentence, on the back of a sentence. I mean, a lot of editing is just moving words around a little bit. Or maybe a paragraph is a little too rushed and it's too early in the story. Maybe it needs to be a little bit later in the story. You lift it and you move it to the later. It's things like that. What makes a better article is another set of eyes on it because the person writing it is so close to it, they can't really be. Their judgment of it is not going to be that clear because they think they wrote it. It's great. They wrote it. It must be good.
Right.
So you have to, work towards improving. But honestly, some of it is a little bit natural. I mean, it just comes with your ability. Some people can do certain things and some people can cook well and other people can't. Some people are great at math and some people aren't. Some people are scientifically knowledgeable and some people know history left and right. So, I mean, I think it's not for everybody. Everybody thinks you're a writer. They can't.
Right.
Can you be a writer? Is another thing. Yeah, you put words together, but they say that people don't write anymore these days. I actually think people write because the social media has people writing. You're writing on Facebook all the time, so you're writing more than even you used to probably. So that's
absolutely
all the time. So people are writing. They're just writing in a shorthand. They're not really writing, prosaically, but they're at least writing and using words. So, I mean, what I was going to also say about other opportunities, as an editor, is that it's not always the person who's the creative person who's going to write the articles. It's the people on the back end who are going to make it better, clean it up, the editors. So not only just being a regular editor like me, which is sort of oversee the article and try and improve it, you have the so-called copy editor. That copy editor knows everything about grammar, everything about spelling, everything about research, and will research the article to make sure there's no mistakes. And that's another layer and things that's a whole other skill that people have, which I don't have. I mean, I'm okay copy editor, but I'm not at that level of knowledge. I'm pretty good. My spelling's pretty good. My grammar's pretty good. My historical knowledge is pretty good. And you can go to Wikipedia now and look everything up very quickly. When I was younger, I mean, if you need to look something up, you have to go into your library and, look through the encyclopedia or something. I mean,
right.
I've literally run to a library and look up books. It's so easy now to search and research. You don't have to leave the house, which is maybe a problem, but at the same time, you can get it done. You can just sit there, armchair, and get it done. But as far as the learning curve, I mean, you just have to put it in. You have to go to school. You have to learn. You really should learn in school to start with. What do you do in school? Take the journalism class, take creative writing class, join the newspaper, join the literary magazine, join something that is involved with the process of creating a publication that's going to be, from start to finish. And learn that. For me, it was high school and college was minor leagues to get into the profession. So there was no specific minor leagues, but that was our minor leagues. We learned through making newspapers in high school and college, and then could go out and do it as professionals. So now a little less of that. Maybe the colleges don't have as many newspapers. I don't know, but I don't think they do. It's not as common. But yeah, the bigger schools have their papers. Learn there. Join college newspapers, things like that. It's real basic. If you want to get the start early, do that. Because once you start later, then you're kind of like behind it. My belief in learning is that you really do have to learn at a young age, and it's harder to learn as you get older.
Right.
So it's harder to pick up a language, harder to learn an instrument. It's harder to do things. When you're younger, you're just more pliable, and things kind of enter your mind. You're ready to learn. You don't have as much information in the mind that's cluttered. So when you're older, it's a little hard to I'm not scientific about this, but I'm just easy to learn when you're younger. So learn the basics of writing at a young age. Learn how to play your instrument at a young age, and then you'll be better off, because that's just the pure time to learn is at a young age.
That couldn't have been said better, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Bloom, ladies and gentlemen, with the words of wisdom, the double, triple, quadruple OG of the cannabis industry, journalism editor, high time extraordinaire, celebstoner.com, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go support him, man. He's always here to support us and make sure that we get a lot of great stuff. Steve, once again, man, what is it? Celeb Stoner, let them know, man. Let them know out of your mouth where they need to go and sign up for the goodness, man.
Celebstoner.com, and also join my group at Patreon, the Celeb Stoner group at Patreon. We send out a newsletter every week. You'll enjoy it. Gary, I love working with you. I love your event. This is a fun webinar. I'm behind you all the way, and continue to invite me to participate in any way, shape, and form.
Oh, yeah. And I forgot to ask you that, Steve, because this was your first time. No, you've been on the stage before many years, because you always come up and participate. Steve's always in it. But this year we had to honor him and have him there formally and have his picture up and have him looking dope on the stage. And I just wanted to see, man, we had all the dope LED panels, man, flamed out on the floor up top. I want to see what you thought about the whole thing, Steve. I want to see how you felt, man. You've been to a lot of cannabis conferences, more than many of us have been to ever. I want to see what you thought about Real Cannabis Entrepreneur. How do we stack up, man? How do we stack up?
You're good. I mean, it's a good event. Obviously it's a diverse event, and that's important. And that's really what I like about it the most. I could kind of meet with my Black brothers and sisters, in the community, and catch up with them. I do that in New York all the time, but it's nice to catch up with people in Newark and catch the Jersey crowd, which I may not see as much. I just think it's a great event. It's a nice scene in there. That room, it's a cozy room. You keep things lively, as everybody knows. You're not going to fall asleep at the Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Conference. In many conferences, you could sit there and get a little, especially if you're running through a bunch of PowerPoints or something, and it gets really slow, and your eyes starting to close, so that doesn't happen at your event. You keep people involved, and that's really what I like about it, among other things. I mean, I like the, who's there, and I like the programming, and I like the expo, the small expo you have there. I miss your after party, but I think it's a fun event. I look for fun, I think. Right. I think a lot of these events that we have out there, they're very interesting, but they're not fun.
Right.
Maybe they're not supposed to be, but that's what I like. A little fun mixed in with the seriousness, and then we can get our job done.
Exactamundo, baby. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Bloom, baby. He wrapped it up, sewed it up for me. That's exactly what we do at Real Canna. We got to have fun. We're going to learn a whole bunch, but at the same time, we're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to joke, and it's going to feel like we weren't working. That's what I'm talking about, lifestyle business. Thank you so much, Steve Bloom, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Steve Bloom. Thank you again, Steve. I appreciate everything you're doing, brother. Thank you, man. That is so dope, man. Oh, my goodness. So dope, man. We get to learn all kind of stuff here on Real Canna, y'all. We get to learn all kind of stuff. Did you see that? We got the former editor, High Times man, Celeb Stone, and Steve Bloom in the house, man. He's giving us insider tips of other things that we need to know, not just as cannabis professionals, right? But these are things that you need to know in terms of a business owner, right? And some of the tips and things that he was talking about in terms of getting press. Listening to editors helps you look into the mind of other people who are going to be judging the pieces that you go to present when you go to put out your press release about your company and other things like that. That's the reason why I want to have Steve here as well, because he's giving us an inside lead, an inside look at what's important, man. Big up, big up, big up. And Valerie says, thank you, Steve. Yes, man, that was some fire. That was definitely some fire that Steve blessed us with, man. Next up, we got Reggie Merritt. Reggie, turn your camera on, Reggie. Make sure that I got you up, brother. Reggie Merritt's in the background, guys. You saw him on stage as well. All right. You saw Reggie Merritt on stage. He's the one that runs Edge Security, Edge Investigation Security Company, right? We were talking about armed guards. This is something that's not armed, but unarmed or armed, but guards, period. And what you have to have in turn for your cannabis dispensary, retail, or whatever. And so he's the expert with that, ladies and gentlemen. Been doing it forever. His family's ingrained in security. His dad has been a former chief of police and everything else. And all of his family is ingrained in it, man. So they are just like security, law enforcement out, and this is the people that you want on your team to protect your cannabis retail location, man. It's people that have been doing it forever, already been protected, know the rigmaroles. And I learned a lot from Reggie as he talked to me, and I was looking in and I was interviewing different entities, different people that were doing security. And when I talked to Reggie and I saw the differences in what he said versus some of the other companies and what they said, that's when I knew that he had something special, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, you know what we do here, y'all. Throw up the R's right now. Valerie, y'all already doing it. Throw the R's up. Y'all already beat me to it. That's what I'm talking about. Throw the R's up for Reggie, man. Let's get him in the building. Come on, throw the R's up, y'all. We got to bring him in strong, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they already beat me to it. My man, Reggie in the building. What's up, Reg? He's live in effect,
Can
baby.
you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's going on there, brother?
It's real low. over here. I'm currently at work right now. As you guys can see.
As you guys can see, he's also always doing it, right? He's a firefighter as well, always giving up the time. They're always in the community, man. He does everything. Go ahead, Reg.
Absolutely. I was trying to get my earpiece going with the headset. Just real low for me right now.
Don't even worry, man. We can rock just like this.
There we go. I'm up. I hear you. I'm good.
Hear me?
I get that.
Nah, because this is good. You can put it up the ear. I like this. This is all impromptu, baby. We doing it live in action. Reggie's here. Hopefully he don't get a call for a fire while we on here, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, always represent Ed Security. You saw him on stage talking a little bit about it. And Reggie, I just want you to get and let everybody know who you are and what it is that you do. Man, let them know.
Absolutely. Let's turn this off real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reggie Merritt. Career fireman. Come from a family of law enforcement. Currently the president of Ed Security and Investigations, 3 generations. Been around for 30 years, started by my grandparents and on down to me. We pretty much specialize in armed and unarmed security guard services. We also are doing live camera monitoring as well. And pretty much that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah, man. You guys get it in and make sure that your facility is safe and locked down. And Reggie, I want to ask you another question that we talked about on stage for some of the other people who weren't there. Talking about what makes it different when you're looking for a company like yours. And I'm out there looking for somebody to do security for my cannabis retail facility. What should I look for? What would tell me that something is good about a company, or what would tell me that they say they might put a flag up for me to let me know that company is not that great?
Choosing the security company?
Yes. Yep.
When you choose, pretty much when you choose a security company, you definitely want to make sure they're licensed and insured. Um, that's very important. That's of importance. If they're not licensed, definitely insured. God forbid something happens with that security, that guard at your
Right.
location. There's no way that they would be able to cover it, and then that would fall on the actual dispensary. And depending on what it is, that could be a game changer. It can end the location.
Yeah.
Those things are costly. So definitely making sure a company is licensed and insured, and then just making sure that you can do the job.
Right.
Um, Possibly trying to get some type of just some like references on that company's past history, the scale of work, the type of work that they've covered in the past. That's definitely something very important. You have a lot of new companies out here that they're eager to work, but they don't have that experience. You know what I
Right.
mean? So definitely making sure a company is licensed and insured. Definitely making sure they have the proper experience as well.
Right.
And those are the two main most important factors. Definitely the license and insured. That's huge. There's a lot
Yeah.
of companies out here running around, not licensed, not insured, and they're faking a funk. And that'll be devastating to a business owner.
Yeah, and that's something that everybody, guys, we got to look out for, man. Somebody that's faking the funk, trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you won't
They're out
even
here,
know.
big time.
You won't even know unless you go pull some documentation on a state level. But you better do it right, or you better have somebody reputable like Reggie that you already know is on the point. But if you go try to do some willy nilly, guys, you got to make sure that you are on point, man, because you're gonna get yourself in trouble for real. If somebody is not licensed and they come represent you, you're the one who's gonna get it at the end. You're the one who's gonna be liable and responsible. So Reggie, let's talk about some tech, man. Tech and security. Armed guard security. Is there any type of technology that you guys use that you implement to keep the location safer, and something that Edge Security does that nobody else is doing right now?
Yeah. And one of the reasons a lot of the companies aren't doing it because it's costly. But we believe in investing in the company and adding value to the client. So one of the things that we actually have our time and attendance. It's like an application system. Pretty much this allows the guards to clock in and clock out digitally. The clients will have access to the back end, so they'll know that the guard is there and when they're there and when they leave. On top of that, the system allows me, as soon as the guard clocks in on location, the system allows me it pings at whatever frequency I set it. So let's say I set it for every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes or whatever, it'll ping that actual guard is on location. So I know not only did they clock in, they're there, and I'll get that however frequently that I want to get it. And again, the client will have the back access to that as well, so they'll know that the guard is there, doing what they're supposed to do. Another thing that the application does is patrol. So we can actually set up a perimeter. We can put our devices in place. If you wanted a guard to patrol your perimeter, or even inside, we can set up. We have these QR codes or NFC devices that we can place on the walls, and the guard can use their device to scan that chip, and that will recognize that the guard was in that location. And if you set it up properly, that'll track them on patrol. So they've been here, they've been there. If you can imagine that, that's one way that we track their patrol. Another thing that system does at the time and attendance, you got the patrol. You also got incident reporting. That's huge, especially for accountability purposes. If you needed to audit, you can go back and you can look at that. The days of like paper, that's how, those days are over. I mean, people still have them, but we're moving forward digitally. And so incident reporting. So let's say, for example, when it comes to dispensaries, not only is it like, in incidents where like you had to deny someone, they probably didn't have the proper ID, or like some type of confrontation happened. Obviously, that's an incident reporting. But that's another form of report that you can do is when you receive shipments. So let's say you're getting a shipment of your product every so often, we can document that as well. So if any reason you need to go back, like, hey, who delivered on October 5th at 10 o'clock?
Right.
We have all of that. Everything's documented, and we provide that. And that is factored into your hourly cost that we charge. Everything's all factored. It's all inclusive. We give you one inclusive rate for all the services that we provide. So That's that's technology that we're using right now.
No, I love it, Reggie. I love it, brother. You just dropped down a whole bunch of dope stuff, brother. Whole bunch of dope stuff, man. I love that. Incident reporting, they got it, guys. That's super dope. Y'all don't understand that, but well, some of y'all do in terms of incident reporting and security. And with cannabis, we got to track every single thing. Every little thing has to be documented. Anytime a camera goes down, you have to have a fail log. Anytime something goes on with security and there's an incident, has to be an incident report. Everything has to be reported. So when you have layers of something like this, and your security company is also keeping an incident report for you on top of your employees, you are protecting yourself and putting layers of protection. That is what we call redundancy, baby. And that's what we got to have in business in order to be fail safe. We have to have redundancy. So I love the fact that you guys do that. Another thing you talked about is the NFC readers and the other things within the facility to let you know that patrolman is on patrol, guys. I love being an absentee owner. I own a lot of businesses being an absentee owner where I'm not there, right? Stuff like that helps me not be there and have a peace of mind at night to know that my guards are doing what they're supposed to do without me having to walk on my facility, talk to my employees or anything. I can have something on my phone that rings and let me know that my guards are doing minimally what they're supposed to be or be what they're supposed to be at. So I love that, Reggie. That's huge, man. That's freaking huge, man. But all of those are good stuff, man. Oh, man. Yeah. But all right, man. I ain't gonna hold you, Reggie, because I know you're busy, brother. You came and you joined up. I wanted to make sure I got you on, brother, so we blow you up. Guys, Ed Security, they were the ones doing it. If you guys came out to Newark Dispensary, right? Newark Dispensary in Maplewood over the past weekend. They were the ones that does the security over there, doing security for a whole bunch of other people all over the place, guys. Right. They're the ones. Ed Security. Reggie's the guy. Reggie, let them know how to get in contact with you, man.
Yes, sir. The best way to reach out to us is our website, edgeprotect.com. EDGE protect, PROTECT.com. Edgeprotect.com. Best way to reach us.
Edgeprotect.com, ladies and gentlemen. Go to www.edgeprotect.com, ladies and gentlemen, so you can get it popping. I'm going to throw it up on the screen there, man. But Reggie, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, man. I know you're busy doing your thing, making it happen, taking care of the community in multiple ways, securing the land, brother. But thank you again, man. Always representing. Big up Edge Security in the building, baby. Peace out, Reggie. Thank you, man.
Take care, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, peace. Yes, man. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. We learning at the same time. We get some goodness up in there, guys. Go to Edge Protect, edgeprotect.com, edgeprotect.com right there. Go check him out, man. He's the best in the business. That's the reason why I had to bring him to the conference, y'all. Because remember, I'm making shortcuts for everybody so that you don't have to worry about vetting a million people, going through a bunch of shady people that aren't vetted and dependable. I'm just giving them to you on a platter. So I'm just telling you guys, these are the guys that are doing it for tons of the different dispensaries, tons of my clients that are going through the process, and tons of other people that I know that are reputable from Newark, represent Jersey, been in law enforcement. These are all the accolades and things that you want, and a person that's going to come here and teach you about the subject matter, not just come up and do that thing. So Gaetano, turn your camera on, man. Let me see if I can get Gaetano on the last one of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Last one of the day. We got some flyness coming up here today, right? And you and Gaetano, you guys already know Gaetano's in the building, right? Gaetano's in the building. He's the godfather of Brick City, man, always making it happen. Always, man, been an OG of cannabis in New Jersey and all that good stuff, guys. You see him on stage. He helps me do so many other things. He's doing something revolutionary right now. He's got something going. You guys know him as a psychedelics man. He was the one who had a psychedelics virtual conference, one of the first ones here in Jersey to bring education around psychedelic medicine. You know what I mean? And so now we're taking it to the whole nother level, ladies and gentlemen, because the psychedelics are the next level. The mushrooms is the next level of plant medicine, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know, you better start studying it right now, because I'm telling you, this thing's going to skyrocket even faster than cannabis, and it's doing some ridiculously amazing things with people's brain. That's what I like about it more than anything. I'm an herbalist, and I've been an herbologist since I've been 19 years old. I know all of the herbs. I got thousands of different herbs in my house that I can use for any different ailment that you have in your body. But there's one ailment that I did not have an herb to help one of my friends who had a mental condition. When I found out that psychedelics was really the missing piece of my functional medicine cabinet, of my herbology cabinet, I couldn't believe it. It was the only thing that I didn't have in my cabinet that I could cure somebody of, and that is some mental issues. But ladies and gentlemen, when I'm studying, the more I study this thing, the more I say, oh my goodness, this thing is going to be a beast. It's going to be a monster. It's really fixing people's brains for real. It's reconnecting synapses and the ones that aren't supposed to be connected and reconnecting the ones that weren't supposed to, that were disconnected. It's doing some really crazy things. But anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to bring Guy Tano here because he's doing something revolutionary. He's taking this survey through a survey company, and this thing is going to be super dope. And I'm not going to blow his whole spot. I'm just going to let him tell you. I'm just going to let him tell you. Let him tell you guys. Without further ado, guys, throw the G's up right now. Throw the G's up. This is my guy, Guy Tano in the building. We got to throw the G's up for Guy Tano, man. He's always here, always representing. He's one of my original mastermind members, the one I told you guys about when we started when there was only 5 of us. Right? When there was only 5 of us, Guy Chappell was one of my original members. He's been down that long since the very beginning. He's always on the go. You see him everywhere. The hat that he wears with the cannabis pens, it's in every magazine, every periodical you can think of all over the planet, guys. Guy Chappell, oh, he disappeared. Damn, we had the G's popping. Hold on, his connection must have went. Let me text him. Let's say you disappeared. He disappeared. We just had him hyping everything. Oh, man, Guy Tanner, you missed it, bro. We had you hyped. We had you amped up. Big up to you, Mendy. Big up to you, man. Mendy in the building. Culture, Ed in the building. Big up to Valerie, TACFO, all the way in California. Yay. Canna Camp. Canna Camp, where y'all from? Where Canna Camp from? Y'all always represent. Come through, man. I see y'all. Sydney Soto, one of our mastermind members in the building. Big up to you, Sydney. Big up to you. Big up to you. Come on, Guy Tanner. Get your butt back on here. What the heck you doing? I think he might have lost connection. Who else is in the building, man? Teresa Panacea in the building. Always in the building, everybody. Joe Shabbat in the building. Joe Shabbat in the building. All right, Guy Tano, come on. Oh, did he have a blackout for real? Oh, yeah, he had a real blackout. He's texting me now. He really had a blackout. He's been on here the whole time waiting to get on. The moment I do that, now he's got to try to disconnect. All right, fine, guys. While he's doing that, I'm going to do some quick things real quick here, man, while I got you guys here, man, because this is what it's about, a real cannabis entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you are looking to go through the cannabis process right now, there's still opportunities left in New Jersey. It's very slim. It's very sparse. But there still are many opportunities, retail opportunities in New Jersey. Plus, we are working on a concept to open up some of these opt-out towns, ladies and gentlemen. So there's some stuff going on. If you want to get in the game and you weren't able to get in some of the other towns and some of the other towns were locked down and you had some issues or you got rejected, whatever, holla at me because we got tons of other opportunities. And I want to make sure that we put everybody in position to go to realcannaconsulting.com, realcannaconsulting.com, guys. Just fill out the application, man. It'll get to me. And if you qualify, we'll have some conversations and I can put you in some positions. Guys, anyone else who wants to get in the cannabis game, but you might not have enough to get in all the way from a cannabis perspective, have $500,000 or $1 million to do a retail location or cultivation. If you're one of those, what do we always say at Real Cannabis Entrepreneur? It's all about the ancillary businesses. It's not about the plant-touching businesses. We preached that from the very beginning of Real Canna back in 2018. And I told everybody, I said, guys, I'm telling you, the people that are going to make the most money are going to be the people who are non-flower touching at the end of the day. It's going to be people who don't. And they're already leading the forces. The biggest buyouts in cannabis was a cannabis event. It was MJ Biz. Got $150 million buyout. One of the biggest buyouts in cannabis. Non-flower touching. Guys, that's what it's all about. So, anyway, if you are interested in getting into some non-flower touching business models, go to realcannaconsulting.com, realcannaconsulting.com. We have some alternative things, some alternative business models that you guys can get into and actually make more money than some of those flower touching guys out there too. So don't turn your nose up at it, man. All right, Guy Tano's back in the building. Let's go. We got him rock and roll. We got you already hyped. Guy Tano, turn your camera on, baby. Let's go. He's got blackout power. He's back from the blackout. He's back from the blackout. Guy Tano, you up, brother? Turn your camera on, man. Uh-oh, his camera's trying to boot up. His camera's trying to boot up, y'all. Boot it up, boot it up, boot it up. All right, y'all. Come on, Guy Tano, where you at, man? Oh, damn, he's there, but he's not there. Turn your camera on, man, and then I'll bring you in. He's probably behind his computer doing a bunch of crazy stuff. But anyway, guys. If you guys are looking to get into business and you can't get in the front end, you're looking for other opportunities on the back end, hit me up. Go to realcannaconsulting.com, realcannaconsulting.com for real, because we got a lot of other business models that we need. Talented individuals, people that are motivated, people that want to run businesses, people that are serious about running a business, serious people that are willing and serious about obtaining true financial freedom. That's what we're looking for, man. So come to realcannaconsultant.com, guys. Realcannaconsultant.com for those who are interested in going another route. Not another route, but an alternative route to really get it there. Guy Tano's back down again. Damn. I want to get him on so we can talk about this survey. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next thing while we wait for him. Oh, he's back. He's back, guys. He's back. Last one of the day. It's 1 o'clock, and then we're going to dip up out of here, guys. Y'all know I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I'm going to try to stay on time with these webinars. I'm going to try to stay on time with the webinars. I think this might be our last recap webinar, ladies and gentlemen. This might be the last recap webinar. We're up to number 5. I was going to keep going, but I said, you know what? The goodness has been good enough. And we have given you guys so much great content, and this is post-event. October 5th and 6th was our event. RealCannabisEntrepreneur.com. Anybody who's not signed up, RealCannabisEntrepreneur.com. We have the biggest cannabis conference in New Jersey, 1,000 people, 40 plus speakers. RealCannabisEntrepreneur.com. Sign up and get on our email list. Make sure you don't miss anything so that you can be prepared for some other things that we're going to pop off this year. Gaetano's back, put out his cameras now. He's working on a camera action. Yeah. Yes. Mandy, thank you, man. Thank you for doing them. They've been awesome and pretty awesome. Yes. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it. Big up to you, Mandy. Big up. Thank y'all, man. That's the only reward I get, man, is y'all compliments, really, man. At the end of the day, this ain't about the money. Ain't no money coming in from these. This is all us showing love. You know what I'm saying? Shannon, what's up? Thank you, man. Thank you, Shannon. Teresa always representing, man. Big up. Gaetano's there. Let's get him. Let's see if we can get him, baby.
There I am.
There he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I always have this problem when I'm exactly when you announced me, everything just went. My whole house. It's the freaking Russian bots or something.
They're trying to stop you. They're trying to stop cannabis.
They're trying to stop psychedelics.
They're trying to stop psychedelics.
Not gonna happen on my watch.
They heard them and they blacked it out.
Yeah, never happens.
Hey, man. Hey, brother. Hey, man. Thank you, Gaetano, for making it, man. Gaetano in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Gaetano in the building. Long-time mastermind member. Been with us since 2018. You can see him at every event. He helps me behind the scenes get these events off and fill them up, man. He does so much work and help. He's always helping everybody out there, man. But now he's doing something and he needs our help, ladies and gentlemen. He needs our help. So we got to help Gaetano. Gaetano, let him know what you're doing, brother. Let him know what it is we're doing. How can we help you today, man?
Yeah. So Gary, listen, this is what's going on right now. Future and Theogenic Medicines, my company. We have a research group. The research group is called DSM-5, like the diagnostic statistical manual that psychiatrists use. So that group has about 40 members, mostly New York and New Jersey licensed psychiatrists and psychologists, and we're looking at all the bills in New York and New Jersey from the policy perspective, from patient safety perspective and practitioner perspective, and so on. Anyway, we back in July we said let's do a little mini survey, right? I have a pretty extensive network on LinkedIn. We said we'll come up with a few questions and we'll put it on LinkedIn. Maybe we'll get some nice responses. And then that was a Wednesday night. We came up with that idea to do that. And then we'll send it out to our networks and so on and get some interesting responses. And then the next day, Thursday, I went to a big event in Philly. University of Pennsylvania had a big 3-day event on psychedelics. They had all speakers from Hopkins, NYU, Harvard, Yale, all top research speakers. And while I was there, I met a company called AltMed, ALTMED. They're a company that does professional surveys, like when you leave the hospital or your doctor's office, that survey follows you up. How was your stay and so on. So they have a database. It's all HIPAA compliant, anonymous, all that wonderful stuff. They come out of that traditional survey business. And I met them. And I was very impressed with what they were doing, the survey for University of Pennsylvania. We brought them on, and now they're doing the survey for DSM-5. And this survey is going to be running October, November, December. The database is going to lock probably the 31st of December at midnight. And then what we'll do with those data is we're going to write a research report. And then it got kicked up another level because the American Journal of Endocannabinoid Medicine, I've had discussions with them. They want to publish it in their journal. So now this has got kicked up from a little mini survey that we were going to do on LinkedIn with a few people to now it's a full-blown research paper. And so we'll be publishing that the first quarter of 2024. Then we also have in our business model to survey psychiatrists, psychologists, physicians, social workers, nurses, lawyers, and so on. So we'll be conducting all those surveys. But again, this is one of the gaps I see right now in the cannabis space is I don't think people are collecting enough survey data in their businesses and in research and so on. So we're going to help.
Uh-oh. Did he black out?
And beyond.
Oh no, you're back. You blacked out for a second. Yes. Oh. All right. Good. You're getting shaky. Your connection's getting shaky, Gaetano. We got to get to the nitty gritty. Tell them where they need to go, man, to take this. Why is this important to take this survey?
So this is important because what we're going to do is write the research paper, collect those data, and then with those data, we're going to use to talk to legislators in New Jersey and New York. So you're going to your voice in this survey, you're going to be able to be heard through statistics, and we're going to present those to legislators. You're going to be able to help shape the S-2934 bill. So that's really why it's important. Gary, if you could throw the link, in the chat. You can go to that link. It's a 15 to 20 minute survey. It's about 64 questions. You can throw your name in at the end to get a $50 gift certificate. But again, this is really going to allow your voice to be heard on the psychedelic space in New Jersey and in New York.
Yes. Now, Gaetano, what's the link? You got the link? Can you put it in the chat for me real quick?
Some things I can't put it in the. Hold on.
Oh, you can't get to it.
Yeah, I can't get to it. I don't know why. Let me email it to you, Gary.
Yeah, email it to me so I can put it up for everyone.
Give me one second. I'm going to email it to you right now.
Okay. All right. And then we'll throw up that link for you guys so you guys can get on there and take that. And Sydney Soto says she's already taken the survey. And it's a really great survey too, guys. A lot of great insight and things that you can pick up from there. So this is really going to be good, man, about psychedelics, guys, and bringing it to the next level. This is going to be the next level of plant medicine. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to go faster than cannabis. It's going to be even faster because of the medicinal. So much of the medicinal aspect is more drop dead scientifically able to be proven. And me and Gaetano have our spats about organic and natural medicine versus synthetic and the pharma medicine, right? And there's all these different ways of doing things. But yeah, this one's going to move because it's more of a straight, clean cut in terms of the science behind it, where cannabis has more of a spiritual effect and a lot of variations that makes it less clear cut. Less that there is in terms of the same thing, being in the same, they're always going to make more problems when it comes to regulation.
It's another option, right? I mean, you can have two tracks. You can have the adult use track, whatever and you can have the medical model track. I mean, there's no reason why the both tracks can't exist. I think I just sent you an article this morning, Gary, too. They're using fungi to build computers.
What?
Yeah, I just sent it. I just sent it to you this morning. I came across it. So I have some friends that are actually.
Wow! Did y'all hear that? Fungi to grow computers? Wait.
Well,
Tell me more.
To replace some of the parts in the computers for sustainability. And so yeah, I just sent it to you. I just came across it.
Wow!
Someone from in Australia, I think, sent it to me. But there's people that are working to use fungi for clothing and furniture and homes and so on. So they're even testing it in space. That's my jam too. In space, that's a whole other story.
Right.
But, yeah. So there's that whole space there with the mushrooms. The mushroom, you can have mushroom cosmetics and mushroom lines that I know 3 big retailers right now in the cannabis space. They tell me their mushroom products, legal mushroom products, are moving a lot better than their cannabis products.
Yeah, man, this thing's going to take off, guys. And there's the link. I finally got it up there, man. www.altmeddata.com/DSM5, all spelled out FIVE, right? So that is www.altmeddata.com/DSM5. Get on there, guys. Take that survey, man, because that's going to help shape and mold a lot of the things that could happen here in New Jersey, as well as a lot of legislation, regulation, all that other kind of crazy stuff. Guys, have your word. Let's get our words in here now. And I'm telling you that this is you got to start studying it, guys, because the more I study it, the more I realize how much more things that these mushrooms are really doing, and how much the plant medicine is doing, and how much psychedelics are doing. And guys, it's not even about just, when I thought psychedelics, I was thinking it was all about tripping and, and all that, right? I was like, because I'm not a person who does it like that all. So I was thinking it was all about that. But as I learned, I realized there was a whole division called functional mushrooms, ladies and gentlemen. Functional mushrooms are just like CBD. It has no psychoactive effect. So it allows you to experience the healing qualities of the plant without having to get high. The same thing we could do with CBD and cannabis. So guys, those things like lion's mane, I mean, it's such in demand right now because it's fixing people's brains like insane. And lion's mane, yeah, it grows. It takes like a year and a half to grow one mushroom or something like that. So it's very, it's kind of expensive and rare. But guys, those, man, cordyceps, what's the other one?
There's tons of them.
Turkey tail. There's lots of different ones that everybody's using, man, and they're having some amazing results. And I talk to people all the time and I say, how does it make you feel? What is it, does this? And everyone gives me this really great explanation. It really makes me say, I need to do that, because they all just like, it brings this calm. It makes it so I don't have any more stress. It's even if I'm sad about something, I can't be sad about it. I could think about it when I'm on some of the mushrooms. I could think about my problems and not feel depressed. Like normally we think about something bad and it depresses us all. But a lot of them said when they're on the mushrooms and other things like that, it helps them deal with a lot of those things, man. So that's really, really, that's really dope, man. Yeah. So
Gary, one more quickly. Let me throw in the chat real fast. And I'm sorry, I'm going to email it to you because I can't do the chat for some reason.
Okay.
So what it is, we held back in last November, a year ago now, I can't believe it. We held a virtual event with Stockton University, the 7-hour event, the virtual event on psychedelics.
Yeah.
There's the link. Put that in. It's free. Go watch it. We had about 13 panelists, experts, and patients talking about the magic mushroom bill here in New Jersey. And then we had about 35 5-minute talks from people all around the world that I've met in the psychedelic space who helped their Lyme disease with psychedelics, who helped their cluster headaches, who are researchers in Brazil who used ibogaine to treat patients. That's another thing. Keep that on your radars, guys. This is going to be very, very big. Ibogaine. Look it up. Google it. Study it. Ibogaine. It comes from the iboga bark from Gabon, Africa, and it's very, very, very powerful for addiction.
Yeah, man. Ibogaine, guys. It was lots of next level results from those people who are addicts, and it's able to do some crazy stuff with them, man. Next level things with getting people to not be addicted anymore, guys. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is really next level, y'all. It really is. And I was very surprised because I am an herbalist. I've studied all the herbs, but I've never thought about some of the mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? And when I found out that was the key, that really, really blew my mind. I just really couldn't believe it, man, for real. So I'm going to put this link up in here for you guys as well. That's the survey link is in the chat now, guys. So it's easily clickable. Yep. Teresa said she took the survey. Interesting stuff. Yeah, she said is interesting stuff. Illustrated to me how much I don't know and still need to learn. See, yeah, that's another great benefit, ladies and gentlemen. Right? We all newbies to the psychedelics, right? Unless you OG, probably Steve Bloom and all of them, Ron Mondello and all of them. They know all about it, right? But we're new jacks. We don't know nothing about this. So we got to study, man. But this is a good way to learn.
Surprised. I talked to brilliant researchers from around the world all the time, and a lot of people don't know about a lot of the psychedelics, and especially ibogaine. But and that this reminds me of what cannabis was 10 years ago, right? What's CBD? Oh, it's a non-psychoactive, really? And what's marijuana versus cannabis? So it's the whole education thing all over again. But that's okay. That's what we're here to do: educate the masses.
Right. Yeah, man. Yes. What link was I putting up there, guys?
The link to the FEM YouTube channel with the virtual event with Stockton University.
Okay, yeah. This is the virtual psychedelics conference, ladies and gentlemen, where you could go learn a whole bunch. Gaetano's got like 17 hours of content here, y'all. 7 hours. He's got tons of content, guys. So I'm throwing that up there. That's free content, man. And it was really good, y'all. I watched the entire thing that day and I learned so much from all of the different things because this is all brand new. And I'm going to go back and watch it actually, Gaetano, too, because there was a lot of great people that you had on there. Yeah. I see a lot of people, man. Oh, you guys got even more content. You guys been stacking it up. Yeah, all right. Totally. This is good. This is good.
I mean, the videos, and I purposely asked the people for 5-minute videos to talk about what they, in their profession or what they do with the psychedelics, whether they're healers or doctors, whatever. So those are 5-minute videos. But then there's the live panel where we had a bunch of experts. We had Lisa Gora on there talking about the S-2934 bill, Bo Huck, and then we had Erin Broshwaller, who has stage 4 breast cancer, and she sued the DEA for RTT, right to try. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff there.
Wow.
And those are just a fraction of the people I've spoken to over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I could have literally had 100 people on. But it's amazing. There's some amazing people out there doing stuff.
Yeah, man. Lots of amazing people, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I love to do these webinars and find other interesting things, y'all. There's a lot of interesting stuff that we can, that I can bring to this platform, y'all. If y'all want us to keep going and doing these things, man, y'all let me know if you want me to keep going and doing these webinars and bringing y'all more goodness, man. Y'all let me know. I'm going to see, man. I'm going to see about doing something alternative and bringing in even more information, even more stuff.
Gary, we got to have a mushroom festival. I'm telling you, a mushroom festival where we do education, harm reduction, and maybe a little sampling, whatever. But we're going to need to do Yes. I agree, ladies and gentlemen. What do y'all think about them? What do y'all think? Canna Camp says, keep them going. He's talking about the webinars. Thank you, man. Yes, Teresa says she uses functional mushrooms every day. Oh, that's what's up. Teresa, what kind you use? And type it in. Let us know what kind you use, man, because I got to get me some lion's mane, because I'm like, yo, that lion's mane sounds really dope. I want to use it because it's really fixing people's brains. We all got some type of brain damage from growing up and doing whatever we've been doing, right? So it's about. I got PTSD walking down to my mailbox and back today. I was stressed out. So everyone's got PTSD too. So
exactly. We all have issues that we have to resolve, man. And these are things that keep your body in tune. It's a tune up for like your car and stuff, man. You got to put it in every year. You got to do a little something for it. So we got to start looking at these things, man. And I'm an herbalist and I've been doing it a long time. And it is all about moderation and doing things, correctly, and understanding that, it's just about moderation, man.
You got to address this opioid and fentanyl crisis thing, and guys, go out and friggin' vote today, please.
Yes, man. Yes. Yep. Today's voting day. I forgot too, man, until everybody been knocking on my door. I got everything on the door, so I won't forget. Voting day, guys. Get out there and vote. Mendy says facts. Let's make a difference, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the important election. You know what I'm saying? This is the most important election, y'all. I'm not even into politics, but I got a whole family who is, and I always hear them say this, and I know this to be true as I got older and learned a bit about politics. The local politics is the most important politics of them all, which makes perfect freaking sense, right? It's not about the big presidential election and all of that, right? That's kind of like too late, they're already going to mix the pie up. Who knows what might happen? But on a local level, you can have some sort of real control over what happens in your community and what happens around you where you live politically. So guys, this is the very important one. If you're not going to vote, don't pick this one to not do it, because this is the important one, that even if you don't believe in the process, this part of the process, we all know they keep it generally fair, and it does work, and it does make differences. You know what I'm saying? That's what I will say, to say it the nice way. You know what I mean?
And Gary, tell everyone too to please pass the link onto your social media. We want to get 1,000 participants, because then we'll have a good, nice, high statistical p-value and so on, which will help the manuscript. So definitely pass the link onto your social network, please.
Yeah, pass it on, ladies and gentlemen. Share, ladies and gentlemen. That's altmeddata.com/DSM5, spelled out DSM5, alt, ALT, meddata.com, DSM/DSM5. All right, ladies, hit that serviette, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it, man. Let's get Gaetano a bunch in here. Gaetano, thank you so much, brother, for always being a pillar of real Canna, baby. Always making it happen and bringing that fire. Always supporting and always making sure that we go off with a bang. Always bringing psychedelics and cannabis to the forefront. Always going to space and bringing CBD to space. Y'all gonna learn more about that later. Gaetano in the building. Thank you, Gaetano. Peace out, my brother. Gary. Thank you. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I kept y'all overtime. We went overtime. I said I wasn't gonna go overtime, but damn it, we did it anyway. We had to do it. It was about Gaetano and his psychedelics, man. That's what's up, baby. Let's go. The Virtual Psychedelics Conference. Also, check that out. Go there. A lot of free content, guys. Screenshot that right now. Go check it out, man. All right, I'm tired as I don't know what today. I am out of here. Thank y'all again for hanging in there with us, man. Always supporting Real Cannabis Entrepreneur. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Mendy. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Canna Camp. Thank you, everybody who joined, man, and always supports, comes through and represents, man, participates, and all that good stuff. Woo! Long day, baby. All right, y'all. That's it for it, man. We up out of here. Up out of here. Another Real Canna. In effect, doing it big. Doing it big. Now, let me turn my music up for my way out. And we out here. All right. Peace, y'all. Peace. Peace.